the cameras flashed, the crowd at the 75th Emmy Awards, they just completely froze.
Oh, totally throws.
Right, and a beloved comedy icon walked out, gripping a friend's arm to stabilize this heavy red dress, and the entire room rose to their feet.
It was such a chilling moment, honestly.
It really was, and just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. But, behind the standing ovations and behind the flashing bulbs, a terrifying, silent battle was raging.
So silent.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And it's genuinely fascinating to be unpacking this specific story today with you all, because we're basically abandoning the usual polished PR spin.
Yeah, we really are. Today's deep dive pulls from a stack of sources. We've got excerpts from The Guardian, Entertainment Now, Star Magazine, and First for Women.
A really heavy stack today.
Right. And we are unpacking the headline that has everyone talking, which is Jamie-Lynn Sigler just broke her silence on Christina Applegate's health battle.
Which is such a massive moment.
It is. And our mission for you today is simple. We are going beyond the headlines to uncover the unfiltered, unapologetic truth of what happens when a Hollywood star's, carefully controlled life is stripped away.
It totally shatters that illusion of celebrity invincibility, right? Because we're looking at this stunning narrative of resilience, but also of raw, agonizing honesty.
Exactly. An honesty that the entertainment industry usually tries to hide at all costs. So let's start with the immediate crisis.
Right, the hospitalization.
Yeah. So Christina Applegate has been quietly fighting multiple sclerosis since her 2021 diagnosis. But late March brought a terrifying escalation.
It's just so scary.
According to Star Magazine, she was admitted to a Los Angeles hospital with a severe double kidney infection. And we need to understand the mechanics here because this isn't just catching a bad bug.
No, not at all. MS attacks the central nervous system.
Right. It disrupts the signals between the brain and the body. So when those signals fail to reach the autonomic nervous system, which controls things like bladder function, you get severe urinary retention.
Oh, that sounds so painful.
And that pooled fluid becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, which then travels up into the kidneys.
That physiological breakdown is excruciating.
Yeah.
I mean, the reports detail that she was screaming in pain.
Yeah, screaming.
Just requiring heavy intravenous antibiotics just to keep the infection from going septic and, shutting down her other organs.
And if you compound that acute agony with the baseline reality of MS, which already drains your energy to zero, it's a nightmare. She recently revealed she's been to the hospital upwards of 30 times.
Wait. 30 times.
Upwards of 30 times. Think about the sheer psychological weight of that.
That is just exhausting to even think about.
Right. So fast forward to May 5th on Watch What Happens Live. Jamie-Lynn Sigler breaks the silence to give a much-needed update. She says Christina is, quote, doing better, getting stronger, doing well.
Which was such a massive relief. Because the public reaction before that was just sheer panic.
Total panic.
Yeah. Christina had put up this Instagram post on April 20th addressing the rumors. She called herself a strong chick, taking a moment to focus on her health.
And the Hollywood ecosystem just activated instantly. Stars like Jenny Garth, Cheyenne Jackson, Snooki, and Olivia Munn flooded her comments with support.
But, reading between the lines of those updates reveals this jarring disconnect. The public statements are always framed around strength.
Right, getting better and all that.
Exactly. But the day-to-day reality is entirely different. One source in Entertainment Now described her battle as treacherous, and they quoted her saying, she doesn't have great days. She just has better days and really bad days.
It takes monumental courage for her to just exist publicly right now.
It really does.
Which brings up the way the entertainment industry handles chronic illness. Hiding chronic illness in Hollywood is like a duck frantically paddling underwater while looking totally serene above the surface.
That is the perfect analogy.
It requires absolute silence from everyone. But I have to ask, do we, as the public, demand too much strength and inspiration from celebrities when they're actually in agonizing pain?
I mean, yeah. It's a vicious cycle. We love a hero narrative. We want the celebrity to smile and wave so we don't have to confront our own anxieties about bodily decay.
Yeah, we want the comfort.
And the PR machine enforces it. Hollywood is built on bodily perfection. So the celebrity is forced to carry our emotional comfort while hiding their physical agony.
It's so true. But while Christina is fighting this acute infection in the present, the real story is what she's revealing about her past.
Oh, this part is wild.
Yeah, and that's not even the wildest part. Wait till you hear what she locked away in a box for decades.
The revelations are just ground shaking.
They really are. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed because we've got even crazier stories ahead.
Definitely.
So this recent hospitalization is just one chapter in the massive revelations dropping in Christina's new memoir, You with the Sad Eyes. It came out March 3rd.
And she's totally refusing to call MS a blessing.
Right. Remember with her double mastectomy?
Yes. She played the part perfectly back then. She called it a blessing, but now she refuses. She's become an, quote, honesty missile.
An honesty missile. I love that. Let's trace back to the exact moment that missile was launched. It wasn't in a clinic. It was on a Zoom call.
Wow, a Zoom call.
Yeah. She was in the middle of shooting the third and final season of Dead to Me. Her doctor appears on the screen looking for Lauren and reveals she has 30 lesions on her brain.
30 lesions.
Yeah.
Picture the sheer terror of that moment.
It's the complete short-circuiting of your life. And despite that, she pushed through the final scenes in a wheelchair.
Which is incredible given the severe temperature dysregulation and crushing fatigue of MS.
Right. And there's this heartbreaking moment with her co-star Linda Cardellini. They're filming a goodbye scene, and real tears were blurring the lines of acting. They were actively grieving the premature end of Christina's career.
Because she openly admits she can't do the early call times anymore. Her body is entirely overstimulated.
Exactly. And because she's losing control of her physical future, she decided to take radical control of her past.
Diaries.
The diaries. She opened her meticulously kept, locked journals from age 13 for her daughter, Sadie.
And the contents are just so raw.
Yeah, she writes about a mom in an abusive relationship, her first blowjob at 13, a deep love for Johnny Depp at 15.
The Johnny Depp thing is so relatable for that era, but then it gets so dark.
It does. She documents a lifelong battle with disordered eating and profound self-loathing.
It's a devastating parallel, right?
Right.
The loss of control with her nervous system now mirrors the lack of control she felt as a teenager. The good girl is gone.
She really is. And we have to talk about the physical extremes, like the Walk of Fame ceremony.
Oh, that was so tough to read about.
She had steroid infusions that made her feel like a blob with the wrong kind of facelift. She felt utterly humiliated.
Contrast that with her recent liquid diet for stomach issues. She lost 50 pounds.
In 7 months.
Yeah, leaving her with terrifyingly thin stick legs and zero muscle to protect her bones. And the tragedy is that little voice of her teenage eating disorder was whispering, "Good for you. You're skinny."
It's a horrific cycle of the body betraying you over and over. But somehow she finds these moments of dark humor amidst it all. Which brings us back to the Emmy Award story.
The standing ovation.
Right. She felt pitied by it.
She did. Her immediate thought was, they're standing because I'm sick. So she made a joke about disabled shaming to deflect.
Classic Christina Applegate armor. Humor as a shield.
But then, the crowd kept standing up for every single presenter after her, up and down, for hours.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And suddenly, she and her daughter Sadie are just giggling hysterically in their seats at how ridiculous it was. It went from a pity-filled burden to absolute absurdity.
I look at Christina's newfound bluntness, and it's like tearing down a movie set to expose the scaffolding underneath.
It really is.
But is it possible that this devastating illness, by stripping away her 50-year Hollywood filter, actually gave her the ultimate freedom to finally just be herself?
I mean, I think so. When you physically don't have the energy to fake a smile or be polite, you're left with nothing but the truth.
Yeah. She doesn't have the cellular energy for it anymore.
Exactly.
But Christina isn't navigating this alone. Later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming regarding her best friend, Jamie-Lynn.
Oh, this part changes everything.
It really does. And it involves a 15-year secret that completely defined her life.
It totally reframes Hollywood's toxic expectations.
So let's shift the focus to the woman who delivered that breaking news update, Jamie-Lynn Sigler. She's releasing her own memoir on May 5th called And So It Is, a memoir of acceptance and hope.
And Jamie's journey is the mirror image of Christina's. She was diagnosed with MS at age 20.
At the height of her Sopranos fame.
Right. But she hid it from the public for 15 years.
15 years. That is wild. She was terrified it would define her and ruin her career.
The psychological toll of living a double life for a decade and a half is just staggering.
But I have to ask, hiding a disease in Hollywood for 15 years is like running a marathon wearing a lead vest under your clothes.
Oh, absolutely.
By playing the perfect healthy starlet for so long, didn't she sort of inadvertently help build the exact toxic positivity culture she's now fighting?
That's a really valid question. But you have to remember, she was 20 years old in the early 2000s. She didn't have the power to dismantle the system. She was just trying to survive it.
That's fair. That's very fair. And now the contrast is stark. She's posting Instagram videos of herself on a motorized scooter to Ring in 2026.
But she's brutally honest about it. She tells, first for women, she hates it. She still sheds tears over using a cane or needing a scooter at a resort just to make a 15-minute walk to dinner.
It's so vital that she puts that out there. Rejecting that toxic positivity that demands you embrace mobility aids with pure joy.
Exactly. She's allowed to be furious.
And Jamie and Christina channel this shared pain into their podcast, Messy. It's not a dry medical show, it's a raw lifeline.
It really is. And they talk about the blast radius of chronic illness. There was this amazing moment where Jamie's husband, Cutter Dykstra, came on the podcast.
The caregiver perspective is so rarely heard like this.
Yeah. He told Jamie the only thing that hurts him is when she says, "You don't know what I'm going through."
Oh, wow.
It reminded listeners that chronic illness is a battle fought by the whole family.
It's so beautiful that they allow each other to grieve their old lives. It reminds me of Christina's brilliant rule for her TV crew.
The "how are you" rule.
Yeah, she told them, don't ask how are you, because the answer is always not good. Just say, hey, bitch.
I love that so much. It just sucks the awkwardness right out of the room.
Are these two women finally giving society and themselves permission to just say, I'm pissed off, instead of forcing a brave face?
Absolutely. They're dismantling the expectation that sick people exist solely to inspire healthy people.
Such a powerful takeaway. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
Because there's always more beneath the surface.
Always. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a haunting image from the sources. Christina Applegate keeps her TV on 24 hours a day.
Blaring reality shows, right?
Yeah, Real Housewives, constantly. Just so she doesn't have to think.
That is just heartbreaking.
It is. In our own lives, what happens when the cameras finally stop rolling, the distractions fade away, and the quiet in our own heads gets too loud?
How do we face our own silence?
Exactly. Something to really think about. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.